First reading. A reading from the second book of Kings, chapter 24, verses 8 to 17. Jehoiakim was 18 years old when he came to the throne, and he reigned for 3 months in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Nehushta, daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. He did what is displeasing to Yahweh, just as his father had done. At that time, the troops of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, advanced on Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, advanced on the city, and his generals laid siege to it. Jehoiakim, king of Judah, his mother, his retinue, his nobles, and his officials, then surrendered to the king of Babylon, and the king of Babylon took them prisoner in the 8th year of his reign. The latter carried off all the treasures of the temple of Yahweh and the treasures of the palace and broke up all the golden furnishing which Solomon, king of Israel, had made for the sanctuary of Yahweh, as Yahweh had foretold. He carried all Jerusalem off into exile, all the nobles and all the notables. 10,000 of these were exiled, with all the blacksmiths and metal workers. Only the poorest people in the country were left behind. He deported Jehoiakim to Babylon, as also the king's mother, his officials, and the nobility of the country. He made them all leave Jerusalem for exile in Babylon. All the men of distinction, 7,000 of them, the blacksmiths, the metal workers, 1,000 of them, all the men capable of bearing arms, were led off into exile in Babylon by the king of Babylon. The king of Babylon deposed Jehoiakim in favor of his paternal uncle Mathaniah, whose name he changed to Zedekiah. This is the word of Lord. Thanks be to God. A reading from the Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 7, verses 21 to 29. It is not anyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, who will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the person who does the will of my Father in heaven. When the day comes, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, drive out demons in your name, work many miracles in your name? Then I shall tell them to their faces, I have never known you. Away from me, all devil dogs. Therefore, everyone who listens to these words of mine and acts on them will be like a sensible man who built his house on rock. Rain came down, flood rose, gales blew and hurled themselves against that house, and it did not fall. It was founded on rock. But everyone who listens to these words of mine and does not act on them will be like a stupid man who built his house on sand. Rain came down, flood rose, gales blew and struck that house, and it fell, and what a fall it had. Jesus had now finished what he wanted to say, and his teaching made a deep impression on the people because he taught them with authority, unlike their own scribes.